10 by 10 is the strategy we enunciated, as you rightly say, around 3 years ago, to be 10 times in 10 years from then, which means that we need to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of 26%, around 26%. In the first 2 years, we grew at around 30%, so we are ahead of the curve. This year, our growth will be a little below the 26% level because of the difficult economic situation. This is growth both organic and inorganic. And roughly speaking, we expect it to grow about 15 to 20% CAGR organically and the balance inorganically. Now, we think that from the next year again, the economy will improve. Of course, it will depend on the political situation. And then our growth rate will again get back to the 30% level. If it does not, if the economy does not improve, then we'll have to see what strategy to adopt. We could go more for inorganic growth, more acquisitions. We could change our strategy, and we'll have to review it. But we are looking at reviewing it after the elections are over, because that will give us a good picture as to whether the general business and economic climate in the country is going to improve or not. I think our fastest growing business is our real estate business, Godrej Properties, and of course development of our property in Vikhroli, which Godrej Properties does. Now that is a business where there is no category size restrictions. It's a huge business in India. No one company has even a 5% share of the real estate business in the country. So the growth depends on the amount of capital you can raise. Of course, the growth also depends on demand in the market, etc., in terms of profitability. So that we expect will be our fastest growing business. Godrej Consumer Products is another business which will be fast growing. There will be some other businesses like our chemicals business, which will probably grow a little slower. Godrej Agrovet has been growing very well. Our consumer durables business, of course, grows very well when the economy is doing well. It grows a little slower when the economy is not doing too well. Overall, a lot will depend on the economy. As I said, when the growth rates were around 8.5%, we grew at around 30%. Because you must remember, when the GDP growth is 8.5%, the nominal growth usually ends up with inflation at 15 to 17%. We don't set aside money for acquisitions, but we have a balance sheet which is very healthy. Our debt to market cap ratios are extremely low. So if we see a suitable acquisition, and if we find that the due diligence has gone well, we can always raise the funds to implement the acquisition. That's not a problem. But very clearly, we will only go for acquisitions which are strategically and economically viable.